And welcome back to the Lettercraft Heroes. This is MasterMav along with Odinson.
That's me.
And we are going to continue with the cinematics.
Gold Slice.
So we did see number one, which is the original.
Yes. We're going to go through each of these because they're all amazing.
So we're going to check out the second cinematic. The Burning Crusade.
I have to say, right up front, this is probably my second favorite of the cinematics. This is easily probably my second favorite.
Which has a tie-in to the new one that's coming up soon. The Legion is the new expansion coming up, and it's going to have Illidan is going to.
Yeah, is that his name? Illidan?
Yeah.
This guy, if I have it in Hearthstone, I have his card. He's actually a pretty good card. I think his health should be higher, though. He only has a 5 health.
Banished from my own home.
So what's that thing? That's what they call like an instance? No?
That's the portal to the Outlands at that time.
And what's the backstory behind this? Isn't he from like the old Warcraft game? Or am I mistaken?
I don't know the whole story.
The whole story?
Yeah.
But I do know whoever designed him did an A++ job because he looks cool as hell. This dude's pretty cool looking too.
Nice
Little
paladin here.
HP Lovecraft design there with his chin.
Paladin.
Yeah, I like his weapon too. It's like a giant mallet. Boom. You know he knocked somebody out with that thing. Little floating bones around it. This chick, you think she's hot, right? But then she turns out to not be so nice. That little slither thing, you got that. That's a mage card in the Hearthstone. It's pretty cool. So where is this at? What location is this?
It's silver something. This is where you start out with your high elf. They introduced the high elves.
Are the high elves evil?
With this expansion.
Are the high elves evil? Are they evil?
Yes, they're good.
Okay. Well, that explains. That's weird. It's like the elves are evil and the dark elves are good, whereas in Dungeons and Dragons, it's the opposite. The dark elves are evil and the elves are good. That dude's pretty awesome. The
Murlocs, yeah.
Little fish dudes. Look at this guy. Oh, man. This dude's awesome. What's his name?
Illidan.
Big old bones on his face. You are not prepared.
You are not
Demon Hunter, which is one of the new classes that are being introduced into the new expansion.
I gotta say that is a pimp intro to a character right there. That is pretty sweet. I like that one. That's my second. Right here, I'm going on record. That's my second favorite cinematic. And guess what? It's followed by my absolute favorite cinematic from Blizzard. The Lich King.
We're getting there. We're getting there. So, right now, we're going to talk about how awful that the the lore talking was during that last cinematic, because we had no idea. So here we go with this is probably everyone's favorite expansion.
It is. It's super cool.
It has to be, really. Everyone's ragged on everyone since then. These two, this is considered vanilla WoW. Vanilla WoW was original World of Warcraft.
That being said, they're all cool.
The Burning Crusade.
But yeah, they peaked right here with the Lich King.
Yeah, we have vanilla. And then we have now reaching on to Wrath of the Lich King, which goes back to the Arthas story from the original.
Yeah, now goes back
game.
to the Warcraft game, yeah. Right?
So this is where it all kind of comes back. It's great the way they did this. So this is one of the best cinematics I've seen in my life, honestly. Pretty cool.
And I can tell you why too.
So we're gonna watch it.
And what really drives it home, like any good trailer worth its salt, what it does is it's a mini movie unto itself. It has a beginning, a middle, and an end. It's a story. You're watching a story unfold right before you, right here. That's Frazetta. That's Frank Frazetta at his best. That's greatness right there. Look at this guy. That's a force to be reckoned with. Right away, you know this guy's a force to be reckoned with, just because of how cool he looks. You know, little shades of Frank Frazetta. You know, the old Conan artist used to do all the painting covers for the Conan novels back in the 70s. Look at that. And so, where's this at? Is this a place you can go to in the game?
Yes. This is Northrend.
Northrend?
Mm-hmm.
Who lives there?
The Lich King, apparently.
Look at that. You know, that's the other thing I wanted to point out, and I meant to point it out earlier, but the other thing I want to point out about these cinematics, that just the detail that goes into it, like when the stuff looks like it has weight to it. Like, I call back the Fall of New Gettysburg.
Sword here.
Yeah, it looks like it has weight to it.
This is an actual sword that you can buy. If anybody really likes this sword, you can buy this sword online. Maximus Black, a streamer, bought this sword.
The great Maximus Black.
Well, he had a World of Warcraft like 3 months itch, and he ended up buying this damn sword. So
right
you
here.
get the sword.
Boom! Look at that. It's like you can feel it. That's I don't know, man. That's pretty sweet to me.
Oh, that's amazing. The dragon that comes forth.
See, this guy right here, right to me, he signals arch villain. You know, like your Magnetos, your Doctor Doom, your Thanos. You know, just think, Darth Vader. He is that level caliber. He's that caliber of fiend.
Yeah, he is. He's kind of the Dark Knight, but actually the fallen angel at the same time, because he was a good guy.
Which instantly makes his story interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, this is awesome. Big old Dracolich.
But the truest
These guys.
victory, my son,
Little undead
is stirring
dudes.
the heart
The zombie apocalypse is upon us. Yeah. Looks like he's got plans. He looks like he's got plans for Azarath.
My days have come to
Azeroth.
an end.
Yeah, that too.
You
Look at this guy. You know they did a novel about him. Pretty cool. Pretty neat.
Yes.
On to the next one.
Can't get better than that.
That I think that's where they peak. That to me, that's the cream of the crop right there.
All right, so
Gold feet.
Hey, buddy! Woo! Little
Showing off his toes.
Frost mage.
I like his mustache.
We're gonna start with the old Cataclysm.
Cataclysm,
This is
pretty good
where
one.
This one introduced a revamp of the world, because what we're dealing with here is was 2000. I want to say 2003
6?
or 6.
Oh, is it 2003? I don't know.
Anyways, early aughts.
Mm-hmm.
Counting our way up, and then we hit Cataclysm, and it's obviously the game's starting to surpass the level of
What they
graphics.
expected.
Yeah, what back here, graphics were amazing, but here it was like, okay, guys, we need something.
Now
better
here's
to
what we can
compete.
do. Now they just
So what they did is they blew up all of the zones. They changed them just to make it a little more fresh for some of the traditional WoW heads. And then they also revamped the cities, like the like Stormwind, sorry, thank you.
Yeah, and you could actually see, as this cinematic plays out, you'll see things happen. It's called Cataclysm for a reason, because Cataclysm,
Yes.
for a reason.
We are in Warcraft Heroes.
What is it?
known
Our
for our
MPMs or our thoughts per second or TPMs?
TPMs. Thoughts per second. We're fucking killing it. So
anyway, it's called Cataclysm because the world changes because of this big devastating happening. This huge beast, Deathwing, awakens and re-enters the world of Azeroth, and turmoil and hurricane force winds and tsunami and just wrecked, and earthquakes just wreck the land. And if you're playing the game itself, if you're in the game, see the aftermath of all this. Like things you see happen in this cinematic right here actually affect the game, and when you're in the game, you see it. As a matter of fact, this is when I started playing the game. This is when you got me.
Yeah.
This was my introduction to World of Warcraft. Was this expansion right here? Now, Deathwing is another card in Hearthstone that is a very powerful card. He's a 12/12, and it's very devastating unless they have a spell, a counter spell to take him out. If they don't have a counter spell to take him out, he's an extremely devastating card. Look at that. So this is like putting armor on. Now, was he in any of the previous like Warcraft games or anything? Is this like his mate? Is this like his epic
I don't know all the
return?
lore. I'm not an expert in this by any means, but I don't remember any kind of lore with this.
Look at that. Like all that. Everything you see in the cinematic, like all that devastation, is actually visible in the game itself. He's got like a lot. He's got a trap jaw. You know what that reminded me of right there? You remember the old movie Dragon Slayer? That's exactly what I guarantee they were inspired by. That's exactly. So
yeah, also with the whole,
I was just about to throw that on the table. So right now, Deathwing versus Smog.
Beneath the shadow of my wing.
Deathwing probably.
Yeah, I'd have
Smog was kind of a pussy. Although it's honestly, if you look at it, even with the heart there, it's open up in the middle there. It's them stealing from Token.
Yeah, I'd have to go with Deathwing. I'd have to go with Deathwing myself, just because he seems like a more Titan. He's like a Titan.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna take more than a sword pulled from a stone to take this guy out. All right, what we got next? Look at this dude.
Is the worst
That's
character I
the
have.
worst. No, your Hunter's the worst.
No, this is the worst.
I don't know. He's pretty up there. Look at his sword there.
I haven't even
It looks like a
logged in with
steak.
this guy.
His sword looks like it needs to be thrown on a grill.
We're just gonna go with my warrior that I tried.
Oh, Oskin. This brings a warm spot to my heart because this character right here reminds me of the good old days when we played WoW with our friends, and we call it Orc Night. We were all a bunch of orcs, and we like once a week we'd all get together and play WoW.
So enters Miss of Pandaria, which is
by far the weakest.
it's been kind of known as that, although
now the cinematic's fantastic. The cinematic's great.
Well, even in most of the zones are beautiful too, and then the music and the culture and everything with the whole the Asian culture and everything.
Oh no, that's cool. Who doesn't like samurais and kung fu? That's all awesome.
Cool. But it was regarded as kind of an odd twist.
It's just
to
like
this whole thing.
You got this
because if you start, let's just start. We started out with a badass
the introduction.
The badass WoW. You get in, you get a fucking demon.
Oh my god! And then you get
and then you get
ultimate
the Wrath
bad guy,
of the Lich King, and then you get
Darth
a fucking
Vader,
gigantic.
and then it's just at the my god, this
gigantic,
Titanic,
destructive fucking dragon.
And then
we go to Panda
Kung
Bears.
Fu Panda.
Panda Bear. I just wanted to see some panda bears.
Very disappointing.
Panda. I mean, honestly, the Pandaria guys were actually in some of the old school. They were introduced back when the game started.
Oh,
actually.
really?
Yeah,
I didn't even know that.
There's a whole throwback to it. And again, this is not the place to come and look for lore of WoW. We're just kind of going through the cinematics as a couple of noobs.
We're StarCraft guys. I'm StarCraft guy all the way. However, I can appreciate some cool stuff, and this is some cool stuff right here.
Yeah, and we just really enjoy the artwork and the shit that these guys put into this every time. It's just the word, the man hours.
Some of the best artists. I mean, going to comic books, movies, anime, Disney, all that. You can find your top-notch guys anywhere, and I will rank the guys who work for Blizzard against any of them.
Yeah.
Blizzard Entertainment. Recognize
why we fight.
I think what I do like about this actually, speaking of Disney, that's what this reminds me of right here. It's like a Disney movie because it's kind of cool.
Oh yeah,
but it has like mirth.
It has more of their cartoony.
Yeah, it has a little mirth into it. Little sarcasm, a little humor. This is pretty cool. This is something, you know, this cinematic is actually pretty good because once again, like the Lich King, it tells a story.
If you look at that, they were going for the whole Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh yeah. But it tells a story. Like you have a beginning. The guys, they're in a battle. They get shipwrecked. There's your beginning. You have a middle. Now you got these two guys that are on this island, right? They got to battle to the death because they're mortal enemies. And then you have an ending where they throw you the little O. Henry Twilight Zone curve, and you're introduced to something new and amazing. The Mist of Pandora.
Pandaria. What he said.
That's an epic mustache right there. He must work out. Yeah, I absolutely love WoW's Blizzard's design for orcs. To me, that's probably as far as ever going back to Dungeons and Dragons, any paintings, comic books, the movies, even the Lord of the Rings movies, which I think, by the way, are some of the worst looking orcs. Which I love those movies, but the orc designs are not good. Blizzard's design for an orc, that to this day, in my mind, when I thought of an orc, I thought of those guards standing at Jabba's house. You know what I'm talking about? That to me, that's an orc in my head. But since then, this is the best looking orcs is in Blizzard. Blizzard's design for orcs. Look, little dude fixed his little thing. That's cool. They're like, what the hell? Look at this foot.
Now they become comrade in arms.
That's awesome. They're like, he's got us. He's got us overmatched. And he's just using a stick. Are they really cool like that in the game? I never played the Pandora stuff. Can they do kung fu and stuff like that?
No. But they do kick ass. Brewmasters.
Little wind action. Ugh. And this is where they realize they're not in Kansas.
The sun comes out.
Not in Kansas anymore. It's a whole new area of the world.
Why do
It's
we
one of the
fight?
most beautiful zones
protect
still to
home
this day, even with
family.
Draenor that came out.
To preserve
The best
balance
zones
and bring
as far as attention to
harmony.
detail, artwork, beauty, soundtrack,
For
that
my
Asian
kind,
feel.
the
It's
true
absolutely
question is,
amazing.
What is worth fighting for?
Like that little hat that's got little battle banners on it. Alright, one more to go. Now, this last entry of the cinematics that they've done so far.
My Warlock. Aurelius.
Yeah, he's pretty ugly. What's that on his forehead?
He's dead, dude.
Pimples?
Yeah. Looks like the Mad Max.
Well, you know what?
cast.
I could care less about him. I want to know more about this chick back here in the background.
That's his little minion.
Yeah, why don't you move him to the side a little
Yeah.
bit? Let's have a look at that.
We got problems. So, the last one here is Worlds of Draenor. It got mixed reviews. Introduced
No
the
mixed
garrison.
reviews right here.
Introduced the old garrison, which is pretty cool. If you like making gold and just gathering professions, really, it's I don't know. A lot of people thought it was rushed probably because the movie was coming.
You're
out.
talking about the expansion itself, not
Yeah.
the cinematic.
Not the cinematic. Cinematic's awesome, but the expansion has been considered kind of rushed and not enough content. Even though I thought it was actually a lot
No,
of
because
content.
the cinematic is amazing.
Yeah, it's the best. I mean, so far.
Well, I would say, as far as know what?
The Lich King is the best.
Yeah, Lich King's the best.
But this one,
I think
honestly,
Burning
this one gives
Crusade
it-
and Warlords of Draenor can kind of
Well,
be
Lich
2A
King
and 2B.
alone. Lich King is the best because it actually tells the story of Arthas, which is the beginning of Warcraft back when it was a strategy game, and it really ties the game in. This one is the best just because of the technology's gotten better, and they really just nailed the whole action scene. Wrath of the Lich King is the absolute best cinematic, period, because of the story wise, and also visually. Still, it holds up now. So, but Worlds of Draenor, I guess they consider it rushed. I don't know. I'm not a crazy World of Warcraft nut. I watch a lot of streamers who've played it since the inception, and they are just talking so much mad shit about it. But honestly, I think it was one of the best expansions, just content wise, because you got the garrison, you got a bunch of different things that you could do with it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Of the 6 cinematics, once again, the reason why this one ranks right up there is because it tells a story. There's a story being told right here.
Yeah, everyone's going to. So, here we go.
Oh, and another cool thing, these guys that you see here, off the top of my head, I can't remember their names. I'm sure you'll hear it with the people talking in the background there. But, like the warrior and the warlock and the shaman are all hero characters in Hearthstone that you can play as.
Hearthstone.
Yeah. And right off the bat, I mean, the CGI from the very first one. What is this? 10 years later, from the very first one to now. I mean, look at that. That's almost movie quality. Like. That's yeah.
Hellstream.
That guy. These two guys. Both these. No, not him. Not him. Him in the background.
Conquerors.
He looks upset.
Gul'dan
He must work out.
must we give in return?
That dude. That's the dude you can play as him. Yeah. Warlock. Look at the detail. He's not selling his soul nothing. That's cool. Back down. Now, who's this demon guy? Do you know? Did you have to play against him at all?
Yeah, he's in one of the raids.
Like in the hierarchy of bad guys, like how would he compare to, like, say, Deathwing?
I'm not even close. This is really just kind of a bullshit menu.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
What about, like, so how would Deathwing compare to, say, like, the Lich King?
I mean, that he's up there on that level.
Of all the expansions from beginning to now that you've played, who's the most powerful or hardest? I don't know if it's one and the same, but who's the most powerful or hardest boss fight that you've had to do?
Everyone will tell you it was back in vanilla, the first 2 years, or first 2 expansions anyway. The game was really hard to play, and it's gotten easier as the years have gone by. So everyone's always going to tell you Burning Crusade or Vanilla WoW, hardest bosses in the raids.
In your face! In the face! This is awesome. Oh, that's awesome. That axe is a card that you can play in Hearthstone. That is awesome. So what does this signify? It says 35 years ago. So what does this lead into? Is there a return? These guys come back to life or something? How are orcs like elves? They live a long time?
They can. I don't know what their life expectancy is. I've never seen that.
That guy right there. He's one of the heroes. That dude is awesome looking. Whoever designed that guy right there, that's an orc. Right there. Look at him. He grabs the axe. Now I am the king. That's a bad dude. I guess that's his brother. There's Pops. I think that's his Pops, because I think that axe is like his dad's. Yeah. These guys are so badass that they even wear rings. They pierce their teeth. That's how awesome those dudes are. How do the humans even win against these guys? Now that's cool. They're
Build
showing
the
that thing
world.
being built because you can go to that place. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed watching these cinematics as much as we did.
Cinematics.
Cinematics.
Yeah. And
I like boobs.
good times. He's about to go and beat her.
What? Well, he is a villain.
See ya.